Click to subscribe to the channel and then press the bell icon to get regular updates of videos, live sessions, and important seminars.
Good evening, everyone. So first of all, how many of you are not comfortable in Hindi? Alright. So, सबसे पहले तो I would like to take this opportunity to express how nostalgic this feels, being here back in the campus after around 5 years. And very congratulations, because you have received very wonderful buildings since that time. We never had such buildings. And the architecture is also wonderful. And so you're having a very good facility and infrastructure available. And one more thing, so restrictions have been removed in terms of the timings that there were on yours. So congrats for that as well. Yes, why not? So just to get a basic understanding, how many of you are from first year? Okay. The second year? Third year? Fourth? So the basic purpose here is to give you an overall guidance as to how you should prepare. Especially, I would lay very much a high emphasis on the third year students. So you are in your third year and you have only 1 year left till you graduate. So this is a very crucial time for you to decide what is going to be your future options. So whether it is civil services, whether a placement, MBA, or maybe an MS or an MTech, that is something that you need to decide right now. So the purpose of this seminar is that itself, to make you more aware so that you can take that decision. So sir has already given you an idea of why civil services. I'd like to add some points to that. Someone here mentioned that Desh Ki Seva is the purpose of civil services. Can you please elaborate on that? Can you add some points to that? What do you mean by Desh Ki Seva? Something? How many of you read newspapers? So can you take out some points from that? What is Desh Ki Seva?
Controlling the AQI in Delhi.
Okay.
So try to bring the change that you want to see in the society.
Okay. कुछ तो बोलो यार, IIT से हो यार तुम.
Implementing the policies on ground level. Like whatever policy the government makes, you are the person who implements it on the ground.
So someone has mentioned a very good point, controlling the AQI of Delhi, that is the air quality index. We keep on hearing about environmental pollution. So we just keep on hearing about it, reading about it, but we do not do anything about it. So this is the field that allows you an opportunity to bring about some change. And environment is just one field. As I already mentioned, diversity. So I was coming via the Dehradun road, and it is under construction. I think it's been happening since 5 months. So being in the civil services, it provides you an opportunity to make sure that it happens on a very quick basis. During my time, the road to Haridwar was under construction for more than a year, and it was very difficult to travel through that road. So that is the change, or that is Desh Ki Seva, where actually the quality of life of people significantly improves. So these are just some of the examples. We read about crimes against women. We read about other issues like students having various problems. So all of that can be solved if you enter these services. So if you actually have that bent of mind, you have that motivation, then please try and aim for this. Because again, when you go for placements, the amount of impact that you can make will be very limited. I worked in Flipkart for 1 year and I was contributing, but again, that contribution was just limited to e-commerce. Whereas through civil services or even by being in the IRS, the revenue that I collect, so Indian Revenue Services is responsible for collection of revenue. It could be GST, it could be income tax. So all of that is actually funding the government program. So the education that you're getting, the salaries of the professors that are being paid, the infrastructure that was constructed is from the taxes that were collected by IRS officers. So that is the amount of impact that these services will allow you to make to the nation. I will now move to the overall strategy. So we have 3 levels: the prelims, mains, and the interview stage. The personality test, it's not the interview. So prelims is an MCQ-based test. So I will essentially give you an idea of what mistakes generally people make, or what should be your strategy to go through this exam. How many of you are preparing for this exam? And how many of you are thinking of going into the civil services but have not started your preparation? Okay. So this is something that is very encouraging, that many of you at least know about it and you are willing to move forward towards this. So for prelims, it is an MCQ based test as of now, and you'll have to fill circles on an OMR. It is not in an online mode. And it is somewhere little based on cramming up of facts, so that is how it works. So that is something that you'll have to work on. And I'll focus on some overall strategies for all the 3 levels of the exam. The first is revision, which is extremely important. And many of my friends, and even you will do this mistake, that you will read many books. Maybe you read 10 books of the same subject, but you will not revise even one of them. And that is something that is extremely disastrous. It is preferable that you read only 2 books, but you revise them at least 5 times. So please try to follow this and do not just keep on adding sources, because that is not going to help you. Go for smart study, be very precise in whatever you're reading. And the second thing, apart from revision, is testing your knowledge base. So you'll have mock tests for prelims, for the mains level as well, and take all of those tests very seriously. So again, I'm giving you examples from what my friends did wrong and were not able to clear the exam. They kept on studying, they kept on preparing, and they have a very big knowledge base. But the problem was that they never tested their knowledge base in accordance with what the exam demands. So please make this a very serious note, as a very serious note, that you have to take tests and keep evaluating yourself. So even when you were preparing for the JEE, you took mock tests. If you did not, then you would never have known where you stand. So that is the importance. So never miss out on that. And so these are the 2 main strategies. Sir also mentioned about some myths that there are. One of the myths is that you have to prepare separately for the prelims, mains, and the interview stage. And that is not true. Because when you start preparing, you're already preparing for all of these 3 levels simultaneously. So the prelims is an MCQ based test, whereas the mains is a subjective test. You'll have to write answers. And when you start preparing, when you start reading anything, you're automatically preparing for prelims and mains. In the personality test, what they're testing is whether you're confident enough, whether you are optimistic enough, whether you can take the responsibilities of perhaps a district magistrate or perhaps a revenue collection officer. So all of those will automatically develop when you have that knowledge base, when you start reading newspapers, when you start seeing what the issues are at the national level and the international level. So the preparation goes on simultaneously. There's no need to have a separate preparation for all of these. Now I'll also focus on the fact the mains is a writing based test. Okay, tell me how many of you are actually making notes in classes? So this is a practice that all of you need to change if you want to prepare for this exam. So as sir has mentioned, he's giving you an idea of the mains. There are around 9 papers, which will be completed in around 5 days. Every day you'll have to sit for 2 exams, 3 hours per exam. And you'll have to write continuously for those 5 days. And that is extremely difficult. You'll have 20 questions per paper. Unless until you have a good writing speed, unless until you are able to put your thoughts down on paper immediately, it will be very difficult to clear the mains. So if you actually are aiming for this, for any of these services, then it is very strongly advisable that please start making notes. Xerox karana band kar do, and abhi se start kar do. It's especially for the third yearites. Second year वालों के पास फिर भी you have some time to change your habits, but the third year, so you've entered the 4th year technically. Those who are in your third year, so you should change that habit and you should start making notes from now itself. The other one important thing is that this exam also has an Indian language paper, and many of us have lost touch with Hindi. So you will not believe this, but it's the Hindi is of even below the 10th level, but many students fail in that, and it's just a qualifying exam. So do focus on that also when you're actually preparing for this exam, or when you are giving the mains at least for 10-15 days. Do prepare, do take up some Hindi newspaper or something like that. Just brush up on your Hindi reading and writing skills, or any Indian language, whichever you are preparing for. For the personality test, I would give you some examples. So basically, as I mentioned, they're testing your confidence and they're testing your optimism and your honesty. So the ethics is something that you're also testing. So I'll give some examples. I have faced 3 interviews. So I'll give you some examples of what some unique things that happen. So there are 5 members who will be interviewing you, and one of them will be the chairman. So what happened was that one of the persons started waving his hands like this, whereas I was answering the questions of some other person. And I could see that something is happening behind that person. So the main purpose of him was to distract me and to see whether I am able to focus on the problem at hand, whether I am able to remain calm and composed. So this is something that they test. The second thing is they're not testing your knowledge. You've already passed through the prelims, you've already passed through the mains, and that is something that you've already tested your knowledge a lot. Now they're testing your personality. That is why it is a personality test. So even if they ask you many questions, they will deliberately ask you some questions which you would not know and you are not supposed to know. So that is perfectly fine. For instance, my interview was on 15th March, just around 10 days back. So I was asked, so one of the panel members said that, okay, you've studied physics in your 12th class. And it's been, my 12th was in 2010. And he said, okay, so tell me how is a rainbow formed? And I have completely forgotten everything about it. All I knew was refraction. That is the only word that I said. And I said, I'm really sorry, sir. I have forgotten. It's been a very long time. So this is something, so this also shows your honesty, that you're accepting that I've forgotten. And they also know that it is very natural to forget things when I've not revised that for 9 years. Then he also asked me, again a very basic thing, how is an image formed in a plane mirror? Again, something that I've completely forgotten. I've never revised that and I've never used that since, that was something that I studied in 10th. So again, we have to add 2 more years to that. So again, I said, sir, this is very embarrassing for me that I do not know this, but I'm really sorry, sir, I do not know. And that is a very honest answer instead of bluffing, because many of you, if you make it to the interview stage, you'll do that. You'll start bluffing, you'll say something that is false, and they can make that out. There are 5 people almost above the age of 60 years, they can make out that you're telling a lie. And many of them would be IPS or IAS officers or foreign service officers, and they've seen, or professors, and they've seen students like you all throughout their lives. So they know when you're telling a lie, they know when you're making up facts. So just be honest, accept that you do not know, it's perfectly fine. So it's generally said that even if you say no to 9 questions out of 10, you can still get very good marks. Because they're not testing your knowledge, they're only testing your personality. So please, if you're making notes right now, I don't think you're making notes even now, so you should note this down because you'll make these mistakes. And please avoid doing these mistakes because sir said this is not a 5-year plan, right? So just imagine that you would graduate. So I graduated in 2014. Some of my friends have not cleared the exam till now. It's been 5 years and they're still preparing for this exam. So there is some problem in the strategy that they've followed, and it's very important for all of you to not repeat those mistakes. So please note things down, or at least if we have a video after this, so you can please go through all of that to prevent from making any mistakes like this. One more important thing for this exam is reading of newspapers. So how many of you are reading newspapers? So this is something that is not good. This is very sad because being from IITs, it is expected that you have all-round information about everything. So it is extremely important that you read newspapers. So irrespective of whether you decide to appear for the civil services or not, तो placements में तो सब बैठेंगे और कोई ना कोई MBA भी करेगा, and you'll see this that in your 4-2, all of you will start reading newspapers because your placements will demand that. There will be GDs, they will ask you topics from current affairs, and even your MBA interviews will be based on that. And all of you will start reading newspaper in your last semester. So it is highly advisable that you start doing it from now itself. And many of you might not be comfortable in English, and again, newspapers also help you in doing that. Newspapers are not just for current affairs. So please make that a habit. So if you are attending this seminar, we hope that you will make some changes to your habit. So one of them is starting to make notes, and the other is to start reading newspapers. So start doing that from tomorrow itself. I hope you'll do that. And so newspapers you can even read online. That is up to you, whichever thing suits you more. So I also have notes on a very short basis. So try to make notes which have some flow charts or which are in a very summary basis. Do not write full sentences because that helps in revising also. And even during your preparation. So you'll read, apart from newspapers, there'll be some basic books like NCRTs. So जो हम सब ने school time पे पढ़ी थी, or it is the same book, but you'll have to revise that. So you'll have to summarize that book into small notes. So again, all of that will come with practice if you start doing it from now itself. Another doubt that many people have is whether you should start preparing in college itself, or how do you balance your college studies with the preparation. So Ms. Arushi has done that. She started preparing in her college days itself, so she would be able to give more information on that. Then again, many of you have doubts about placements. So whether you should sit for placements, you should register or not, or you should just prepare full time for civil services. So I was in Flipkart. It was a very good job. They were offering a good package, and everything was fine. But then my main aim was to enter the civil services because of the diversity of impact that I could have made in the country. Because in Flipkart, as I mentioned, it was only e-commerce. So you have to decide that beforehand, whether you want to enter the corporate world or not, or whether you want to be in the civil services. But be mindful of the fact that civil services also involves a lot of risk. So as we have a myth that it's a 5-year plan, it might actually turn out to be a 5-year plan. So this risk is always there. So you'll have to take that into account also when you decide to prepare full time for civil services. So I was aware of this. I was aware that there is an opportunity cost. I was leaving Flipkart, and they might not take me back because there is a gap of around 4 years, and the private sector does not value that you were sitting idle for 4 or 5 years. So that is an opportunity cost. That is a very serious risk that you take when you enter the civil services. But again, it's also very, in a way, lucrative in the sense that the opportunities that you get, not just to contribute, but also to learn. So as a district magistrate, just as an example, you will be the head of the district. So just imagine anything that happens in the district, whether it is related to water shortage, road construction, health issues, schools, food shortages, maybe a natural disaster. All of that is something that you will be looking into. So you cannot ask for more diversity of jobs than this. But again, so this is lucrative in this sense, but there are also risks involved. So it's a risk-return trade-off, which is something that you have to think about. So if you're in your 3rd year, this is a very crucial time for you. Please make a decision. Another example I'll give you, during my time there was a group called Students Initiative for Integrated Rural Development, SIRD, SIARD. I think it's now under the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So all of you who are members of that, so that works for rural development. So that is something that will automatically be one of your functions as a district magistrate, and with immense amount of resources. So you can just sign a document and you can change the lives of millions of people. Believe me, that is actually true. But again, so if you want to do that, you'll have to take this risk also to be in that field where you can achieve your goals, where you can achieve that type of job satisfaction. And one more thing from my side, that whether you decide to appear for this exam or not, I would still suggest that you please start preparing for this exam, because just the preparation itself completely changes you as a person, makes you a highly informed person. And as I mentioned, every company, even in placements, because abhi sabka goal placements hi hoga ki sabse zyada package itna ho sakta hai लगवा देंगे. But even they are looking for people who are informed. They will also be having your GVs. So अगर वहाँ पर भी आप बैठ के कुछ बोल नहीं पा रहे हो, so that reflects that you are someone who is not interested in the events around you. So newspapers will help you in doing that. Even just, as I mentioned, just preparation of this exam will help you in doing that. So at least start preparing, even if you do not want to give the exam, start some basic preparation. Okay, how many of you know what Brexit is? See, this is very, very unbecoming of an IIT. As of now, I think you do not realize the value of IIT because all of your IITs, आपको समझ नहीं आता है कि क्या ही है, what difference does it make. But when you go out and you graduate and you interact with people who are not from IIT, you'll realize that there is some difference. And why is that difference there? The very first thing is that you clear the exam JEE, which is one of the toughest exams, perhaps the toughest exam in India. So you were able to concentrate your attention on clearing that exam. You were able to work hard. You were able to persevere. So that is why there is a premium attached to this tag. So please help in maintaining that tag. If you're not being informed people, then that is very wrong. How many of you know what is GDP? ये तो आपके कोर्स में था. Okay. How many of you know something about the reasons for the Uttarakhand floods? We had that in 2013. Have you heard about Uttarakhand floods? Okay. So you do not know the reason about that, despite the fact that you are living very close to it. So again, this does not reflect good on your having an IIT tag, as we call it. So please start being more informed, and just not for this, just even for your placements. क्योंकि हम सबको ये सब चीजें बेकार लगती हैं. We just want कि एक यूटिलिटी हो जाए, हमारी प्लेसमेंट हो जाए, we'll get a good placement. That is what we, and we'll do something for that. So reading newspapers or preparing for this exam will definitely help you in doing that. Even in your MS, etc., I think they also want you to write an essay or something like that. I'm not very much aware of it, but even that would require some level of a knowledge base, which this exam will provide you. Then it's very important for you to know the why of anything that you're doing. So before you start preparing for this exam, please know that why are you giving this exam. So someone mentioned here that there is Desh Ki Seva is one of the reasons. Someone there mentioned it is a sarkari job. What do you mean by that? Okay, what do you understand by the fact that it's a government job? Sarkari naukri iska matlab hai.
Neeli batti.
Okay. Okay, so 2 points. One, someone mentioned job security, and the other one mentioned is a red beacon that you get over your car, lal batti chal. So first of all, the red beacon has been removed, so you will not get that. The second thing is regarding job security. That is something that is not actually a good thing, because then you become complacent. आप काम करना बंद कर दोगे कि हमें निकाल नहीं सकता कोई. That is something that is actually not good. You do not want administrators or district heads who are becoming complacent, because you will get affected. अब IIT के administrators अगर ये सोचते हैं हमें तो कोई निकाल नहीं सकता, so what was the need to consult this call? Then all of you would have been affected. So job security is actually not good for the people at large. The main thing that I understand from a sarkari job is that there is an immense amount of scope again in terms of diversity, and you have immense amount of resources available at your disposal. In the CERD, in the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, when I used to work, we organized health camps there. And that was the first time that I came across such an infrastructure of the government, where a person could just sign and provide us 10-15 doctors and with medicines, unlimited medicines. This is the amount of resources that a sarkari job provides you. So this is the meaning of a sarkari job. That is what I understand. So the meanings that you have in your mind, please reform that. So if you are aiming for that, then that is not the right thing, actually. I'll also have some certain traits that you need to have in your personality overall for this exam, and overall in general for life. So this exam also gives you a very important insights into your strengths and weaknesses. तो जो आपको चीजें अभी नहीं भी पता, so we have something called a dark area. आपने शायद अपने lecture में पढ़ा होगा. There is an area where people know that this is what my personality is, and there is a dark area which you do not know. Preparing for this exam also changes your that part of personality. You start to know what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. So things like being committed to your goal, being perseverant even when you're facing failures, or again working hard. That is something that you've already showcased by clearing the JEE. But in these 4 years, many of you might have become complacent, or you're not getting good CGPAs. Somewhere it reflects that you're not focused on the goal that you have, or you're not able to do multitasking. And this exam requires all of that. So please try to develop all of these qualities, because, and again, not just in this exam, even I'll focus on your overall future goals. So even if you're sitting for placements or an MS or an MBA, all of that requires that. Right? In an MBA, you will not have even an hour free time in the entire day. There will be sessions that will be happening at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. every day. So you'll not be able to sleep, you'll not be able to go out. That is the amount of hard work that you need to do, even in MBA. So ऐसा मत सोचो कि एक पर्टिकुलर फील्ड है जहाँ पे काम नहीं करना पड़ता है, या एक पर्टिकुलर फील्ड है जहाँ पे बस पूरी जिंदगी आराम होगा. ऐसा नहीं है. So even in MBAs, I have people in Flipkart who are MBAs and they do not have any time. So their calendars are completely full. They do not have time to take lunch across the entire week. So अगर आप अभी से वो practice नहीं करते हो of hard working and multitasking, and you're not committed to your goals, then it could be a little problematic in future. So I'll hand over the stage to the other speaker, Ms. Arushi. So she will share her experiences during the preparation, and I hope you'll be making some amends in your habits from today itself, I hope. Thank you.
और आप 2 speakers की बात सुन चुके हैं. So I would take lesser of your time so that you grasp things that are left, and I would like to shed light on the Indian Forest Services to be specific. तो शुरुआत करते हैं थोड़े से इंट्रोडक्शन के साथ कि I have been a graduate of IIT Roorkee, Metallurgical branch, and 2014 batch pass out. My name is Arushi Mishra, and I have secured rank 2 in the Indian Forest Services Examination 2018. So, आपको ये बताना जरूरी है कि what is Indian Forest Services, and as Mr. Sharma has clearly pointed out, it is one of the 3 All India services that we have, that is the IAS, the IFoS, and the Indian Forest Services. What is the difference between All India service and a central service has been amply clear about. So, without wasting time on what exactly is the Indian Forest Services, because now you people are well aware of, I would go, why Indian Forest Services? You people are graduate, you people might be, I must say that you people would be graduating from IIT Roorkee and hence you would be the IITians. तो ये काफ़ी अच्छा टाइम होता है और हमें जॉब सिक्योरिटी तो हमेशा होती है. Being an IIT graduate, it is not a fact, it is a known fact that you would be securing very good jobs. So why Indian Forest Services or any other Indian civil services? If you are getting a job that is aligned to your passion, आप कोडिंग करते हैं और आप उसको बहुत अच्छा करते हैं, आपको वो करने में मजा आता है, if this is the thing, then it is your job and it is the thing that you should do in your life. However, some people do job just for the sake of doing job. We enter into IIT, we utilize the 4 years that we have. I would not say exactly utilization, it is more of a fun-filled utilization that we do after 2 or 3 long years of preparation that we do to secure a rank for getting set in IITs. So what we do is we do fun-filled utilization and then we just grab a job opportunity that is offered to us. However, down the lane, what happens is कि हम सबके अंदर एक ambitious इंसान छुपा होता है. Everybody is ambitious. The number of people who are sitting here are ambitious. They are ambitious enough to attend this seminar also after the classes. They are ambitious enough to think about the fact that they want to enter into some different field. So, हमारे अंदर का ambition जो होता है, initially we take a job and then what we think कि हमारी लाइफ में तो कुछ रह ही नहीं गया, हम तो बस 9 से 5 तक की जॉब करते हैं. And this is the problem that we hear with from most of our friends who are working as a private individuals, private professionals, कि there is nothing more, there is nothing new to life. So what exactly is missing? What exactly is missing? Had it been the passion of, had that job been the passion of your life, you might have been enjoying it very much. So what happens? It is not your passion. And it is the ambitious you, it is the ambitious IITian that is waiting to come out inside you कि ambition चाहिए मुझे life में. फिर down the lane हम और आगे life में जाते हैं, we reach 30s and then we feel there is some humane part missing in our life. We want to do something that is very humane. हम किसी का अच्छा करना चाहते हैं. अभी तो we do not think about it when we are in 20s. Nobody thinks about it. हमें अपनी life अच्छी होनी चाहिए. But down the lane we realize कि कुछ और अच्छा करते हैं, तो एक social service वाला factor आ जाता है कि हम वो भी करते हैं. ये सारी चीजें एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे कर पाना, it is what the Indian Civil Services and Indian Forest Services is all about. It is a combination of job, ambition, and as well as social service. So this is actually the platform where you can do everything. So I would genuinely suggest that if anybody of you who is sitting here and who is ambitious enough and who is humane enough to then they should pursue the civil services examination, क्योंकि आपके जैसे लोगों से ही देश बनता है. We tend to crib about the fact that nation is not changing, problems हैं यहाँ वहाँ, and as the speakers have pointed out already कि अगर चीजें सही नहीं होती तो ये बिल्डिंग यहाँ पे नहीं होती. ये प्रॉब्लम्स थी हमारे पास, ये प्रॉब्लम्स करेक्ट करी, किसने करेक्ट करी? Who has been the change behind that? The change are the people like you, and the nation wants you. So आपके जैसे लोग अगर आएंगे तो बहुत अच्छा होगा. And this is actually what the seminar is all about. The seminar could have been conducted in any other college and not particularly in IIT Roorkee. And since the seminar is being conducted in IIT Roorkee, there has to be a reason beyond the fact that nextias team is conducting the seminar. It is the reason that कि आप जैसे लोग आए. तो ये एक छोटी सी बात थी कि इंडियन फॉरेस्ट सर्विसेज हम क्यों कर सकते हैं. Beside the fact कि Indian Forest Services is very lucrative also, क्योंकि we are from IIT Roorkee and we know that there is a Himalayan Explorers Club and people love trekking all around. So Indian Forest Services is a platform which gives you an opportunity to trek for around 1.5 years in the training period of 2 years. You visit all the national parks of the country, you visit foreign places, you visit different marine sanctuaries, you trek to different peaks of the nation. So it is an adventurous job. जिन लोगों को एडवेंचर अच्छा लगता है, जिनको एड्रेनलिन रश होता है, it is a job for them. It is also a job for the future because we always see in the news that climate change हो रहा है, ये problem हो रही है, man-animal conflict हो रही है. You go to Roorkee, from Roorkee to Haridwar and you pass an elephant corridor. There is always written कि speed limit इतनी करनी चाहिए. It is because it is an elephant corridor. हम ये सब पढ़ते हैं, हमें ये सब पता होता है. But आप इसमें एक पार्ट बन सकते हैं. जैसे कुछ लोगों को बहुत शौक होता है for social services, they join NSS in the IIT Roorkee. This service gives you a platform to help in the lives of the tribes or the forest dwellers. Also, कुछ लोगों को बहुत ज़्यादा शौक होता है, and especially to the guys around here, they might be playing actually PUBG बहुत खेलते हैं, Counter Strike बहुत खेलते हैं, and that actually is a passion for guys. They do it every day and night, whole time in IITs. It is a passion. Why not do it in the real life? आप सैंड माफिया को मारिए ना, कुछ तो करिए. I see the enthusiasm. The PUBG players and the Counter Strike players are happy about it. तो actually चलाइए स्ट्रेंजर, कुछ करिए जो अच्छी अच्छी चीजों सिखाई जाती है उसमें. Come to the service, deal with the sand mafias, deal with the timber mafias, and bring the change. इसके अलावा जो ये सर्विस होती है, सर्विस आपको बता दिया है कि एक एम्बिशन है, एक जॉब है, एक पब्लिक सर्विस है. कुछ लोगों के लिए फॉर मेल्स इट इज अ प्रैक्टिकल वर्जन ऑफ पबजी एंड काउंटर स्ट्राइक, एंड फॉर फीमेल्स इट इज अ वेरी बिग अपॉर्चुनिटी कि आप अपने से ज्यादा एरिया को इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं. आप जो हैं, आपसे बहुत लोग इंस्पायर होते हैं. तो ये एक बहुत अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म होता है जो आप कर सकते हैं. तो इसके बाद आफ्टर टेलिंग यू व्हाई यू शुड चूज द इंडियन फॉरेस्ट सर्विसेज, आई माइट टेक दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी टू टेल यू द डिफरेंस इन द एग्जामिनेशन. जैसा कि हिमांशु सर ने और शर्मा सर ने बताया है आपको, देयर आर 3 stages of examination. That is the prelims, the mains, and the interview. That is the personality test. So the prelims of the Indian Forest Service is common with the Indian Civil Services. However, the difference lies in the fact that for the Indian Forest Services, you have to secure 10 to 15 marks extra as compared to the Indian Civil Services. तो इसमें आप ज़्यादा मार्क्स स्कोर करेंगे तो you have to secure around 126 to 130 marks in a paper of 200 marks to clear the cutoff for prelims. Then we come to the mains paper. Mains paper is an altogether different thing as compared to the civil services, because for the civil services what we do is there are 9 papers as have been amply explained about. In the Indian Forest Services there are 6 papers only. The 6 papers would be comprising of one is the paper of GK, the general knowledge paper. The second paper is general English, that is actually scoring in this examination, so you need to work hard when it comes to grammar part. और हमें इसको इस तरह हटा नहीं देना चाहिए कि इंग्लिश तो हमें आती है. एक्टिव से पैसिव की मिस्टेक अभी भी हो जाती है, तो you need to work upon that if you are giving the Indian Forest Services examination. Then we come to the optionals. There is a difference in optional when we choose for the Indian Forest Service. The difference lies in the fact that here we have to choose 2 options. and 2 optionals that are of scientific in nature. यहाँ पे कोई humanities का subject नहीं होता है, because Indian Forest Service is a technical service and only people from engineering background are eligible to appear for the Indian Forest Services. So it is actually a very good platform where people from IIT can compete. And in my journey also, I realized by the time you reach the personality test, there are actually a bunch of IITians who are competing for the seat. Because the only people who get out of the seat from prelims, mains to the interview stage are the bunch of IITians. Every other people you meet in the personality test time is an IITian. So एक बहुत ही highly enriched platform होता है जहाँ पे आप compete कर रहे होते हैं. So regarding the options, what I was saying, it is a technical service, so you have to choose 2 different options that are very technical in nature. So mine being forestry and geology. What the people from IIT stand to gain when they write the options here? The change is that in Indian Forest Service, when the paper is evaluated, it is objectively evaluated. It is critically evaluated. There is very less scope of subjectivity. If you write what is right, then you will get marks. That is it. The amount of subjectivity involved is less, and the class of service that you get is equivalent. So it is a very good opportunity for the people of IT. ये एक pattern of examination होता है. उसके बाद you come to the personality test, and it is genuinely a test of personality where they ask you questions that test your presence of mind. For example, my hobby being swimming. So they asked me, the interview chairman asked, so Arushi, what kind of competitions have you won in swimming? So I gave the answer, and then he said, I think that you are amply prepared about the topic. Who would not? If it has been written in my paper that I am interested in swimming, I would have definitely prepared swimming. So what he asked next was, Miss Mishra, tell me something that you have no idea about. I would ask questions from that. So I said, okay. So I said, okay, sir, there are many topics that I have no idea about. I need to be humble about it, right? So then he said, no, you tell me some topic that you have 0.0% idea about. I would ask questions on that topic only. So I said, sir, if the criteria is that I should be knowing 0.0% of the topic, then I would not be knowing the topic. So I cannot tell you the topic. So he was like, okay, satisfied. The question asked here was regarding only the presence of mind. Was I there in the moment? Was I able to handle the surprise that was thrown at me? Things like this. Then they asked, after when the interviews was on completion, they asked, suppose you are a district forest officer and you have 2 rangers who are usually drunk, and then they go at home and then they beat their family. What is the first step that you would take? So I said कि उनकी नाइट ड्यूटी लगा देंगे, जिससे वो रात में घर कम जाएंगे तो मारकाट कम होगी. So ये तो प्राइमरी स्टेप है. प्राइमरी स्टेप्स आर प्राइमरी. फर्स्ट एड टाइप की सॉल्यूशंस वो विट और ह्यूमर और प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड चेक कर रहे होते हैं. हम वहां पे सर मजाक करके नहीं आ सकते, लेकिन एट द सेम टाइम वी कैन नॉट बी ऑल वेरी बोरिंग, डल एंड ऑल मेथोडिकल की बुक में तो ये लिखा था हम वही बताएंगे. नहीं, थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाएंगे. और स्पेशली सिंस द पीपल फ्रॉम IIT, द इंटरव्यू बोर्ड ऑल्सो एक्सपेक्ट्स मच विट एंड ह्यूमर एंड एज वेल एज प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड फ्रॉम द स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ IIT. And I think that you people would not be having any problem in that. So, coming to the preparation part, ये सब format हो गया. Preparation में what Himanshu has talked about, that we tend to think कि ये preparation हम कब start करें. So the preparation phase, as has been clear, that it is good enough if you start from 3rd year itself, and if not 3rd year, then 4th year. First and second year are too basic to start that. However, not to discourage the people who are of first and second year who are sitting here, they should start reading the newspaper. Otherwise, idea नहीं होता. हम जो तैरते रहते हैं पानी में, and we do not reach to the point, and then it becomes a 5-year plan. So, to the third year students and the fourth year students, what I would recommend, if you are reading newspapers, make sure, अगर आप न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ रहे हैं, नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं तो पढ़ना शुरू कर दीजिए, और अगर आप पढ़ रहे हैं, so you are a people who have entered to the internet revolution. Everything is there on the internet, so make very judicious use of internet. Intranet that is being provided to you, सिर्फ उसका YouTube में इस्तेमाल मत करिए या डाउनलोड्स में मत करिए. अगर थोड़ा पढ़ते हैं, do what is desired. Judicious use is very important. And when I say judicious use, when you read the newspaper, make sure that you Google, you go to YouTube, you type, if you are reading the Hindu newspaper, type the Hindu editorial analysis. And there would be a bunch of YouTube channels who would be suggesting the analysis of the newspaper. Why it is being recommended? It is being recommended because often you might have felt that you read newspaper, you spend 7 hours a day on newspaper, and still if I come and ask you, what did you read yesterday? And you would be all blank. We do not know what we are supposed to read. Better take help. Judicious use of internet is one of the things. So please make use of internet. Then what I would suggest, if you, since the internet is being talked about, and there are ample amount of online guidance available. So now the phase has come where you can prepare itself on your own from the third year itself. आपको किसी कोचिंग की जरूरत नहीं होती है broadly till the time of prelims. However, if you want coaching, what coaching is all about? Coaching is all about the guidance. What we tend to do is we tend to waste 4 years of our life here. Not exactly wasted. Wasted is technically the wrong term. We tend to enjoy much. So that everybody does. And what we tend to do is we enjoy much, then we think placement में नहीं बैठते हैं, हम तो सिविल्स की तैयारी करेंगे, है ना? And उसके बाद हम चले जाते हैं, वहाँ पे भी वेस्ट ample amount of time कि आप क्या करें, किस कोचिंग में जाएं, क्या करें, ऐसा कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. कोचिंग आपको सिर्फ गाइडेंस देती है. यहाँ पे आप इंटरनेट की यूज से थोड़ी हेल्प लीजिए. And if at all you go to a coaching for some guidance, do for helping, they help you in guiding the way. आपको चलना खुद है. They guide you for 10%, you have the 90% effort is yours. However, guidance is very important. Do whatever suits you, either the internet or the coaching or somebody who is there to guide you. ठीक है? इसके बाद the question arises, should we take the job or not? The fourth year writes must be confused. So there are two paths we talk about. The first path can be taken if you are aiming for civil services. If you are aiming for civil services, then there are two paths. The first path would be, we would take a job. We would do a job for 1 or 2 years. Then we would quit the job and start preparing. Or we would not take the job. If we take the job, Mr. Himanshu has amply clarified everything. And I did not take a job. I sat for the placements, but I did not take the job. What I would suggest to those people who have not who would not take the job and directly plunge into the services, make sure that by the second year of your preparation mode, you start giving your state exams, the equivalent exams of RBI and SEBI. Because back when you start reaching the second and third year of your preparation, being from an IIT, and your colleagues, your friends who have exponential growth in their careers, by the time you reach that stage, आप Facebook बंद करने लगेंगे, आप WhatsApp से दूर जाने लगेंगे. इसलिए नहीं कि आपका टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा है, इतने तो हम अकलमंद होते ही नहीं है कि हमको ये रियलाइज हो जाए, है ना? ये तो हम नहीं सोचते, हम इसलिए छोड़ देते हैं because we feel depressed कि oh my god, I am from IIT, I am doing nothing, I have nothing in my life. क्योंकि ये एग्जाम बहुत सारी मेहनत मांगता है. So what I would suggest, prepare a backup, but not a backup कि हम MBA करने चले जा रहे हैं, because that backup would deviate you from the services. Make a backup and prepare the exams that I have told you by the second year, so that you take extended leave in that and continue preparing for the services. अच्छा, इसमें से बहुत सारे लोग होंगे, the people who are sitting here, and I'm amply clear about the fact that there might be some people who have been toiling, actually imaginary toiling hard in the library. लाइब्रेरी में बहुत सारे लोग जाते हैं, हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर लेके बैठ जाते हैं, लक्ष्मीकांत लेके बैठ जाते हैं, करते क्या 5 मिनट पढ़ाई करते हैं, फिर जाते हैं समोसा खाते हैं, फिर चाय पीने जाते हैं, फिर थोड़ी देर और बैठते हैं, देन वी रिटर्न टू हॉस्टल की बहुत पढ़ के आ गए, बहुत फील आ गई पढ़ाई की, है ना। तो ये हमारी जनरल हैबिट है, हाथ में क्या लेंगे, सिविल्स की बुक लेके चलेंगे, फील आती है, एनसीईआरटी लेके जा रहे हैं। या तो आप कॉलेज लाइफ को एंजॉय कर लीजिए, या पढ़ना है तो 3rd ईयर से जेन्युइनली पढ़ लीजिए जितना आईआईटी के लिए आपने पढ़ाई करी थी. मेक श्योर इफ यू आर विलिंग टू वर्क फॉर 2 to 3 years very hard after your graduation, then please do enjoy your college life. And if you are not willing to waste some precious years of your youth, then if you start working from 3rd year or 4th year, judiciously use every moment as you have utilized every moment when you prepared for IIT. लाइब्रेरी सिर्फ फैशन के लिए मत जाइए, ठीक है, उसका यूटिलाइजेशन अलग है, तो थोड़ा घूम लीजिए, इससे बेहतर है, ठीक है। इसके बाद ये सारी चीजें हम जान रहे हैं, हम ये समझ रहे हैं. What we tend to do when we start preparing for the services, we think हम तो IIT से हैं. When we go to Delhi or when we start preparing here, what we tend to think, we are from IIT, हम तो 2 घंटे पढ़ लेंगे तो बाकियों का 20 घंटे होता है ना. This is the general perception and it is there. बहुत मेहनत से जेई निकाला होता है ना. That happens with everybody. Please make sure that you do not fall into this trap. Else UPSC would make sure that you fall that down, that rising from that level would be very tough. Make sure you do not do that mistake, because people tend to do that. We are from IIT. No, dude, you are competing at the same platform, and here perseverance matters. Brilliancy, talent, everything matters. However, perseverance is the term that matters. It is laborious hard working again and again. So, इस myth को तोड़ते हुए, what is important, I would suggest there are 3 golden rules that whenever you start the preparation, you need to follow that. First is you have to do passionate hard work. Forget about the fact that you are from IIT, because for IIT you were competing for 8,000 and 10,000 seats. Now you are competing for 700 seats, 750 seats all over India, where lakhs of people are giving examinations. So it is not an easy thing. Make sure that you work that passionately hard that you are the one who is getting selected. What the second golden rule is the revision plan. What Mr. Himanshu has amply said, that what we do is we read thousands of books and हमें ऐसी फीलिंग आती है कि बस हम तो शाकालाका बूम बूम की तरह सो गए, हमें तो सब याद हो गया और बस अगले दिन जाके लिख देंगे. नहीं, it is not a graduation exam. Every line is marked and you are competing in an open competition. Make sure that you revise amply well so that the world gets to know what IIT people are all about. Do not fool yourself as well as the people around you. The third thing is attitude. Why the last thing that I am talking about is attitude? Attitude, क्योंकि there is a tendency, जैसा कि मैंने बोला कि आएंगे और एग्जाम हो जाएगा. It is rarely a case. There are people who tend to clear in the first attempt itself. However, the maximum chances lie in the 2nd, 3rd or 4th attempt. What keeps going, the person who keeps going is the person who gets succeeded. But what happens is the preparation mode is always in a sine mode. आपने JEE के time देखा होगा. It is a sine curve. Sometimes we feel very happy about the preparation that we are doing amply good, and sometimes we are that low कि अब तो जीवन में कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. तो लेकिन इससे उठना हमको है. तो make sure कि आप वो इंसान हो जो यहाँ से उठ पाए, नहीं तो फिर जीत नहीं सकते. तो perseverance बहुत ज़्यादा है. कभी-कभी हम जब इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे आते हो, there have been numerous lectures that I have also attended while I was sitting there, and this is the first time that I am addressing the students of IIT Roorkee. And what is the change? What is the thing that I learned? I learned these 3 things that I am telling you. I learned what is the difference between a literate and an educated person. What is the difference when I was in 4th year and I was emotional, and what is the difference between present me who is an emotionally intelligent person? So आप में और मेरे में कोई difference नहीं, बस difference उस मेहनत का है, उस time का है, उस journey का है. That journey is painful. I would genuinely say it is a tough journey. However, the people who are sitting here are tougher. These are the graduates from IIT. And IIT people, आप अभी भी कहीं भी मार्केट में जाएंगे इसके बाद, and सब लोग डर जाते हैं. अच्छा तुम IIT से हो? अच्छा. हाँ तो ये है, ये feeling है. अभी हम सारे IIT से हैं तो nobody gives a damn about IIT. Everybody is from IIT. So what's the difference? But remember the fact that, as I say, that forget the fact that you are from IIT and because you are plunging into an open competition, as well as I would also suggest the contrary fact that remember that you are from IIT, and remember that if you work that hard like other people are doing, you have more chances to succeed. So make sure that you get succeeded in life, because there are times when we feel that we are low. However, the race is winnable till the laps are there. So make sure that you work or you run in your every lap so that the race is winnable. And I would genuinely wish all the luck to all the IIT students, because I can see my younger self sitting there and thinking, हाँ हम भी first आएंगे, second आएंगे, third आएंगे और बहुत कुछ अच्छा कर जाएंगे. And I genuinely believe in you people. सब बहुत अच्छा करोगे. Make sure that the IIT in you comes out. Make sure that the you in you comes out. Make sure that you do the best of your time that you are living. So all the best.